All right, guys, before we get started with the video, I did want to let you know PED is about to start accepting pre-orders. This is our new performance supplement designed to replace your energy drinks, your creatine, your pre-workout, your electrolytes, and your nootropics in one drink. This thing's going to save you money, save you time. It is truly the best product on the market, in my opinion. I've been taking it. The cognitive benefits plus the performance benefits in the gym have been massive, and it's completely natural, naturally sweetened, natural flavors, natural colors, and even the caffeine is natural rather than using a synthetic version of caffeine. Now, here's the thing. I'm only ordering a small batch of the product for the first round, and I'm expecting to sell it out on pre-order. So if you're interested in trying PED at all, you will definitely want to be on the email list so that you are the first to know when the product is available for pre-order. I'm also going to be giving people who are on the email list an additional 10% off the product as well. If you want to be on the email list so that you know first when PED is available for pre-order, click the link in the description and you'll be taken to a landing page where you can put in your email so that you'll be the first to know when PED drops. Now let's get into the video. What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about 7 things that 99% of men are doing that I quit doing. And I quit doing these things in service of achieving my goals and becoming the best version of myself. And the first one I've got on here is following the normal life path. Now, I talk about this kind of thing all the time. We talk about how 99% of men ruin their lives, and we discuss all of that kind of stuff. In this video, what I'm really discussing when I say I quit following the normal life path is I started to realize that you can't, if you want great things out of life, if you want something different than average, let's say, you have to completely reevaluate how you're judging things in life. And so what do I mean by this? Like, the average person's kind of like life path that they have in their head is like they graduate high school or they graduate college, they get some sort of job, they find a girl, they marry the girl, they buy a house, they have a baby. Like, this is kind of like the normal life path. And there's certain like times when you feel like you're supposed to have these things done. You feel like you're supposed to. I remember when I was like in my early to mid 20s, I felt like I was behind in life because I felt like I was supposed to have this stable like income source established. And I felt like I was supposed to be, dating a girl. That was supposed to be the way it went. And I was supposed to like have these certain things done at certain times. At 28, you buy the house, or at 28, you get married, and then you buy the house at 30, like whatever it is, like there's certain timelines that you think you're supposed to do these kinds of things on. And I realized over time that my goals are completely different than the average person's. And because of that, it makes no sense for me to use the normal life timeline as a way to judge how I'm doing in life. So like, if you want to build a business, it's a lot different than working a 9 to 5. Like, if you want to work a 9 to 5, you're going to graduate high school or college. You're going to start at the bottom of whatever position you're in. You're going to make your little 15 to 20 bucks an hour. And then over time, it's just going to be like this linear increase in your income over time as you get your 2% raises and you get a promotion and things like that. But in business, it's like you could literally make $0 for like fucking 10 years and then have a really, really successful business, because it's a very all or nothing game and all the income is on you. And so you have to figure all this kind of stuff out for yourself. And so the way that your income tends to come in, it tends to be like really slow and then really fast. And so comparing yourself to the trajectory of somebody who's not on that life path makes no sense. Another thing for me is like, for me, I don't really want to do the whole beta male married life kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get married at some point in my life, ideally, because I want to have kids and I want to have the family and all that kind of stuff. But I don't view that as like the end all be all of my life. I view that as just something you can do, and it's something that I think would be fulfilling. But I think there's, for me, pieces in place that need to be put there so that I can be the kind of guy in a marriage that I would want to be. I don't want to be some normie dude working some job while his wife has to work a job as well, while we put the kids through daycare and do all that bullshit. You don't even get to practically see your kids. You're spending $2,000 a month on daycares. Your wife's working. You're working some job you don't like. You're stuck. You're trapped. You've got all this debt from this house you bought. Like, that doesn't sound like a fulfilling life to me at all. The way I want to do the family thing is I want to be like a genuine patriarch. I want to make a crap ton of money. I want to be in a position where I focus on business. I build the life that I'm constructing, and now I'm building that life for my family as well. And that requires me to have established myself financially before I consider having a marriage or children or anything like that. I need to be really well established so that I can put the pieces in place. I need to have made myself into an attractive man so I can find the kind of woman I want and also have the kind of standards I have for that woman, right? If you're like, like I talk about all the time, like guys need to raise their standards for the women in their lives. But the thing is, like, if you're some fucking normal guy making 50K per year and your wife has to work a job as well, like, you can't really be going around on some, like, I'm head of the fucking house shit, because you're not. Like, you can't even pay the fucking bills on your own. You've got to have your wife working. It's like, yeah, you better fucking do the diapers. Like, as a man, if your wife has to do your responsibilities, meaning bring in the income and take care of all that kind of stuff, then you're going to have to do her responsibilities as well. And that means you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to change diapers, you got to be a child rearer and all that kind of shit. And that's just not something I'm interested in doing. I want to run my masculine role as head of the house, as the guy calling the shots, who's taking care of everything. And my wife is under me, subordinate to me in this relationship. And her responsibility is to take care of the children, take care of the house, facilitate me pursuing my goals and continuing to grow so that she can reap the rewards of that and the family as a whole can reap the rewards of that. And you just can't do that on a normal life path, guys. Like back in 1950, maybe you could just get a fucking job and pay for everything yourself. You can't do that in this world. Like, you have to be doing well financially to live the kind of life that I want to live and have the family life that I want to have. And so I realized you cannot be judging yourself, in my case at least. I can't be comparing my timeline to other people's timelines. I can't be thinking that at this certain milestone, well, everybody else has a car, everybody else has a house, I guess I should get a car, I should get a house, I should get married. Like, you can't judge yourself based off of the normal life path and how that unfolds if you want something different out of life. And so I quit comparing my life trajectory to the trajectory of the average person. I started rethinking what's a good decision for me versus what's a good decision for a normal person. If you are a normal person who wants to live a normal life, you want to, work your average job and your wife's gonna have a job and all that shit, it's like, go ahead and buy a house. Like, I think it makes sense. Like, if you're just going to do that kind of life path, like, it makes sense to buy a house. For me, in my situation right now, it really doesn't make sense for me to buy a house, because that 30, 40, 50 grand I could put into a house, I can put into the supplement business I'm starting. And so it doesn't make sense. I'm not also in a place where I've completely established where I want to live in life. I don't know exactly what that's all going to look like in the future. And so for me, it doesn't make sense. So people I know are buying houses, but for me, it doesn't make sense. And you have to start thinking about these things. You're like, does it actually make sense for me to max out a 401k? Kind of depends on what your goals are in life. You have to start thinking about these kinds of things based on what you want out of life and where you're trying to go and your outcomes you want to achieve, and realize that if you're wanting something different in life, you're going to take a different path to get there. And so comparing what you're doing to what normal people are doing doesn't make sense. These are different reference groups. The second thing that I quit doing, that 99% of men are doing, is I quit putting effort into dating. Now, this is something that a lot of guys think they're doing. They think when they quit putting effort into dating, what they think about that is like, they get on this whole like, I'm going to make the girl chase me kind of thing. And they basically try to use game and Riz and like dating app strategies and stuff to get women to chase them. I don't even try to get women to chase me. Like, I genuinely just don't put effort into this. If they want to chase me, they can chase me. I don't care. But I'm like, I've really gotten to a point in my life where I just see through this. Like, I guess I've just had enough experience with dating to where it just doesn't excite me much. Like, I'm a guy, of course, I've got sex drive and like I like women and all that, but like, I just got to the point where I'm like, this is such a thing that's holding me back in life. And every time I go spend time with a woman is time I can't spend growing and becoming the man that I want to be. And I ultimately know that any woman I deal with right now is not going to be forever, because I'm not in a position to be thinking about forever. I'm not in that point where I'm established. I haven't established really like anything. Like, a woman who's going to want to have like a long-term thing with you that you would consider a quality partner for a long-term, like a marriage or something like that, she's going to want to feel like you've like established where you're at in life. And I mean that as in like, she wants to feel like this is where we're living. She wants to like imagine her life with you. Okay, this is where we're living. I've got my family here. I've got my kids here. Like, she wants to kind of put all that together. For me, it's like, I literally might just move across the country next year. I don't fucking know. Like, it'll really depend on where my business takes me and where my goals in life take me. And I'm completely devoted to that. And so putting effort into women just is not really worth my time. It doesn't mean I don't go on dates, but those dates are really low effort for me. I don't drive really for them. I don't really pursue the girl for them at all. Like the girl has to just give me enormous signals that she wants to go on a date with me, and then maybe I'll ask her on a date. But again, it's really just on my terms. It's like, hey, do you want to come work out with me? Or like, I'm going to this restaurant like 5 minutes from my house. Do you want to come? Like things like that. I put extremely low effort into this, and it's not a gimmick. It's not some tactic for me to get chicks. It's genuinely because I just feel like this is really a waste of time. I just don't, it doesn't excite me much. I feel like it's a cheap pleasure. I feel like even having sex with women on some level is very it's different than porn, but it's not much different than porn. Like you get done with it and you're like, okay, like that was just me being controlled by my impulses. I just wanted to have sex with this woman, and now that I've had sex with her, it's like post nut clarity. It's like I didn't really care. I was caught up in my impulses. And so like once you start figuring that out, you start realizing like all of this is impulse. All of this is holding you back from those things that are deeply meaningful to you. And I really feel like the only way to have a deeply meaningful relationship with a woman is if you're in a position where you want to establish the family unit, because I think men have gotten confused in this day and age where, and I fell for this for a long time, where like you think that the whole point of the marriage or the relationship with the woman or dating or all this stuff, you think the point is sex. Like I think really true male maturation is actually your ability to completely take sex out of the equation. Like it should be a very low priority. It doesn't mean you date an unattractive woman. Obviously you want to have a beautiful woman to be with, but like you just start looking at, you're like, this is not really what this is about. This is not deeply fulfilling. Me dating this woman for the purposes of having sex with her is not fulfilling. It's a waste of time. The only real fulfillment, and I think this is also why the Catholics in particular, and I think the Orthodox Church is this way too, they're very opposed to things like contraception. Like in the Catholic doctrine, they view sex as only acceptable in the confines of a marriage for the purposes of procreation. So like they don't believe in birth control, they don't believe in abortion, they don't even believe in condoms. They don't think that you should actually be having sex for the purposes of pleasure. They think sex should genuinely be confined, regardless of if you're married or not. It should be confined to procreation. And I think there is some wisdom in that. I don't obviously follow that exactly, but I do think there's wisdom in that, which is that they're just saying like, hey, like this is a cheap base desire of your biological, like your flesh. This is a flesh desire. This is not something of true meaning and deep purpose for yourself. And so men have gotten caught up on this idea that this is something that really needs to matter to them, when I would tell you the only time that this becomes deeply meaningful to you is when you're trying to have a family. Like the point of the woman is to have a family with her. It's not for you to just get your fucking nut off. You know what I mean? Regardless. And like this is where guys get on this thing where like it's funny how guys will think that, like a lot of guys have this idea in their head where they think cheap casual sex is immoral and degrading, but somehow being in a relationship with the woman and having sex with her, that is somehow deeply fulfilling and meaningful and higher aspiration and moral or something. When I would tell you like they're not much different, because you think that because you're having sex with a girl you're dating, that somehow is better than having sex with a girl you hooked up with. When I would tell you it's like you're still just like driven by your impulses and your flesh desires. Like none of this is deep, none of this is intrinsic, none of this is fulfilling. And so once I just started to figure this out, I was just like, this is just not a good use of my time. And so I just don't put really any effort into it at all. And I don't plan on putting any effort into making it work until I'm at a point where I would want to actually have a family. In the meantime, I'll just enjoy what comes into my life. If the girl really wants to see me, really wants to be with me, then like, hey, we can do it. It's completely on my terms, and I'm really not putting much of any effort into this. Sorry if that upsets you. And that's really just my approach to it. And I've found that this helps me get so much more done. I'm so much more focused. I just don't get distracted, and just, you know, my business does better. My health does better because I'm not going on dates, having shitty food and all this kind of crap. I'm getting better sleep. Like it just makes your life better. You're way more peaceful. So this is something I really quit doing that I highly recommend you do if you're not in a place where you're ready to have a family. And the last point I will say about this, guys, is you might be afraid, like, what if I never get to talk to a girl because of this? You will find that if you actually put no effort into this, you do better than if you did put effort into it. It's one of these weird paradoxes, because the woman sees where you're going. She can obviously look at you and be like, okay, this guy is not putting effort into women. I see him hustling on his career. I see him in the gym. She sees you as somebody who's going somewhere. She's going to try and get in between you and where you're going so that she can hitch a ride. And I don't say that in a mean way. I say that in like genuinely, that's how they're viewing it, because they're looking at the man based on his future. Where's he going in life? Like any woman you'd actually want to be with. If you're dealing with some 20-year-old sorority chick who just wants to bang a Chad, like that's different. But like any woman you would actually really like, who's like, I guess, more mature, she's going to be looking at you based on where you're going. She is obviously going to evaluate you based on your appearance, but like she wants to see like, is this guy got a future? Is this guy going somewhere? And so when she sees you not prioritizing her, but prioritizing where you're going in life, that's extremely attractive to them. And so you end up getting the best of both worlds if you do this anyways. The third thing I quit doing is watching and keeping up with sports. This is one of these things that is so fucking normie that guys do. Like I watch like maybe one or two big boxing fights per year. That's really the only extent of my keeping up with sports. I don't know what's going on in the NFL. I don't know what's going on in the NBA. I don't care about this, because to me, it's like, why would I watch another man live out his dreams when I could just go pursue my own dreams? And it's this very like voyeuristic thing that guys do, where it's like the equivalent of porn for your dreams, right? So like when you watch porn, you watch another man have sex with a woman that you would want to have sex with. When you watch another man live out his dreams, you are watching him do what you would like to do, which is achieve something great, achieve your dreams. And so it's very like you're watching someone else do what you should be doing with your life. And so I quit doing this. This is a pretty straightforward one. It's a giant waste of time. It's you getting obsessed with shit that literally just doesn't matter. And the average man is so stunningly obsessed with sports. It's insane. Like they got the fucking jerseys. They spend all Sunday watching football. And I'm like, I just don't get this at all. I don't understand why you're doing this. Why do you have another man's name on your back on a fucking jersey? Why are you like glazing this other dude? Like, why don't you get off the fucking couch and go make something epic of your life? I don't get it at a fundamental level. The fourth thing I stopped doing was paying attention to politics. This one was like, it took me a while because I was justifying it, but like I knew deep down this was a complete waste of my time. And the big, I think, epiphany for me with politics was that I just started realizing it was such a normie thing to do. Like I used to think that keeping up with politics was like a more high IQ thing to do. Like, oh, we're keeping up with what's going on in the world. And then I realized it's literally just normie slop. All of it's normie slop. I just started realizing it. And this is an idea I have where I call it the normie wave. And you want to avoid the normie wave. So what happens is, basically, like everything in life, there's like a period where it's true, and then all the normies find out about it and it just completely gets destroyed. So what do I like? Here's some examples of this. Cryptocurrency. You buy crypto before all the normies are buying crypto, like you're going to get this huge return on it. Then all the normies get in on it and it just goes to shit. You know, start investing in real estate, and then everybody starts investing in real estate, and now real estate's inflated, right? And it's hard to get into the market on it. With politics, it's the same thing. It's like a couple years ago, if you were, you know, woke to Israel or something like that, it was like you were ahead of the curve and you saw this shit. Now all the normies are on board with it and they just say a bunch of retarded shit about all of this. And it's like, you know, I started noticing that there were a lot of people paying attention to politics who had similar political beliefs to me. And these were people that I didn't want to be anything like. And so I realized, I'm like, I don't want to pay attention to this stuff anymore. This is leading me down a normie life path, paying attention to normie bullshit, agreeing with people that I don't want to be anything like because we're all united in our political beliefs. Like, and most of this political slop, it's like, it's so surface level, and like people will just have opinions about shit and they think that they're really educated. They'll be like, we should bring jobs back to America. It's like, well, that's fucking great. It's like, what does that actually involve? Well, it involves like a huge process of undoing manufacturing and infrastructure and getting rid of regulations, and a huge cost to companies. It's going to cause prices to rise, which is going to inflate things, which is going to make it more difficult for people to afford things. It's like, people don't actually think this shit through. They just spout shit off, and like they have these political takes. It's like, we should deport everybody. Like I agree with that one. Honestly, I do think we should deport a lot of people, but again, it's politics. Like, let's think about it more nuanced. It's like, okay, if we get rid of the cheap labor on the houses, and the house prices go up further. You know what I'm saying? And then people can't afford a house, and we got this issue. And so, like, all of this is so much more complicated, and everybody thinks they're really woke because they're listening to some commentator give them a very low resolution, surface level explanation of how everything should go. Meanwhile, you're not focusing on yourself and what you can control. And I think it's an exercise in humility to stop paying attention to politics, because it is the height of ego to think that you know how the world should actually work. And the further you go through life, the more you realize you don't know fucking shit about anything. I don't know anything. I've figured this out with politics in every area. I'm like, oh, fuck, I have no idea about this. I have no idea about foreign policy. I have no idea about trade policy. I have no idea about immigration. I just have maybe gut feelings about what should be done, but how that actually goes, all the pieces involved in that, I have no fucking idea. And so I just started to realize, I'm like, this is a complete waste of my time to pay attention to this. I have no idea what I'm even talking about. It's distracting me. It's drama. It's bullshit. And it just sucks your mind down into this like collective herd mentality, because politics is all like herd mentality. And you want to be above that kind of shit. You want to be thinking independently, making decisions that are in your best interest, not in the interest of some sort of collective that you, for some reason, identify with. That's not even a real collective. Another thing with this is, like, I started to figure out, like, I just don't even like most of the people on my side. Like, I'm a conservative. I would consider myself conservative politically. But, like, I don't even like most conservatives. I think they're fucking idiots. They're, like, weird. I think most liberals are idiots. Like, I think most people are idiots. Like, I don't – and so, like, uniting with these people in some political cause when I think most of them are dumb and haven't even thought this shit through, like, why am I doing this? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's slop. It's drama. It's garbage. It distracts your mind away from what really matters. So I just completely cut the politics crap out. The fifth thing that I quit doing is trying to save money. And what I mean by this is, I don't mean like saving money in the bank. I mean, like, what the average person does is they're always looking to cut costs on things. They're like, ooh, I got this coupon I can take to the fucking grocery store. Or, oh, like, I'll just change my own oil and then I don't have to pay the fucking mechanic to do it. Or like, oh, I'll just, cook my own food. Or it's like always like this DIY kind of mentality that the average person has, where they want to save a dime by like doing shit themselves, saving pennies everywhere they go. Oh, like, if I call up my, cell phone provider and tell them I'm switching providers, then they'll give me a 25% discount. It's like, what are we doing here? It's just like silly shit that got, like, normal people are always trying to save a dime on shit. And it's just stupid, because you can't actually like save your way to a good life. My philosophy on this for a long time has been, you can only save so much, but there's an infinite amount of money you can make. And so rather than focusing on preserving your pennies, you need to focus on making more. And so, like, that's the philosophy that I take to this, is like, how can I make more money? Focus on making more money. The problem isn't that you're spending too much. The problem is that you're making too little. And that's the answer for 99% of people. Occasionally, the answer is, yeah, you're spending way too much fucking money. But for the most part, you're not. Most people are like starving and breaking even out here. They're eating low quality food. They're living in some shit situation. They have a car that's not even all that nice. Like, and like Dave Ramsey kind of people will come out here and tell you, it's like, well, it's your fucking $5 Starbucks. It's like, the problem isn't the $5 Starbucks drink. The problem is you're not making enough money to pay for the $5 Starbucks drink. And so the answer is, you need to focus on making more money, not saving money. And so I don't try to save money. Like, I try to be, financially responsible, obviously. Like, that's just part of the game. But I view it as like, there's a certain level where you get to this point, and I'm not even really thinking about saving money until I get to that point. Like, once I live a certain lifestyle that I'm happy with, then everything between there and my income is what I'll save. But I'm not going to sit here and eat shit food to save $1 just to save money. Like, I'll just buy the nice food and figure out how to make more money. I'll just get a car that is acceptable to me, and then I'll just make more money on top of it. I will live somewhere I'm happy with and make more money on top of it. And like, that's always been my mindset. And people just have this like attitude as if they can't control their income. They're like, how could I possibly make more money? It's like, I don't know. Elon Musk made $500 million last year. He's worth 400 billion. I'm like, you can't make some money out here. I don't fucking understand this. Like, it's like such a weird box people are in. It's so obviously ignorant and just like not seeing reality. It's like, do you not look around? There are like people with millions of dollars to buy houses cash. There are people making ungodly amounts of money. The top 1% of income earners in America make $450,000 a year. It's like, you're making 40 and you're acting like, oh, I need a penny pinch and save this money. It's like, no, you need to figure out how to make some more money here. You know what I'm saying? And so I quit focusing on the saving money thing. It's even getting to the point for me where, like, I used to think DoorDash was a bad use of my money because it's like, oh, you got to pay for the fucking the guy to come and you got to tip him and like the service fee and all that bullshit. It's like now I started DoorDashing more and more. I just DoorDash Chipotle all the fucking time because I'm like, I can spend 45 minutes cooking, cleaning, groceries, all that type of shit. Or I can just spend that time working and have somebody bring me the food and it costs me an extra $5. I'm like, that's just a good use of my money. And so I stopped wasting my money by saving my money. It's like paradoxically, the more money you try to save, oftentimes the more money you waste. If you have to pay the guy to change your oil $80, but you could do it for 20, but it takes you 2 hours, plus you got to go get the shit. It's like, and you got to Google how to do it. It's like, I'd rather just pay the guy 80, not have to think about it and keep focusing on making money. And so like this is the mentality that I'm in, is like, how can I just cut all this penny pinching shit out of the way? Because the problem isn't that I'm spending too much. The problem is that I am not making enough. And that is just my philosophy on it, because you can literally make unlimited cash out here. I'm not like, I make 6 figures, but I could make 7, 8, 9, 10. If I want a private jet, the problem isn't that, you know, I'm like not saving enough money. The problem is I'm not making enough. Do you see how that works? The 6th thing that I quit doing was maintaining relationships. And what I mean by this is I stopped going out of my way to keep relationships alive. Basically, if a relationship is not organically maintaining itself, then I just let it die. And so what does this look like? It looks like I have friends that are on the same life path as me that I genuinely enjoy keeping up with, and they're an asset to my life. And those are people that I will naturally just talk to a lot. And I'll end up talking to these people all the time, multiple times per week, every day sometimes, things like that. There are other people that, you know, I don't have anything against them, but just based on our life trajectories, we're just going in different directions. And I don't go out of my way to do this whole like, hey, we should grab dinner, we should grab a beer, we should hang out. Like, if there's no good reason for us to hang out, I just don't hang out with people. And what you'll find when you do this is that the people that you are actually good friends with, it really doesn't matter how often you see them. I have a great friend that I've been friends with for like a decade at this point, and I literally at this point, I talk to him via text maybe once every month or so, and we hang out in person maybe once every 4 months, and we'll get like a workout in, or maybe we'll go smoke a cigar or something like that. And he's like a really good friend of mine, and every time I see him, it's like nothing changed. You know what I mean? And like, that's a good friend. I don't have to go out of my way to be like, we need to see each other all the time to keep in touch and keep this relationship going. It's like, I see you when I see you. You're doing your shit, I'm doing mine. We're on similar life trajectories, but based on what we're doing in our lives, it's just not a situation where we're going to talk all the time. And it's like, fine. You know what I mean? Versus there's people that like, I don't talk to them for a few months and it's like, they're gone. You know what I mean? It's like, because the relationship really wasn't that deep. And so it's like, why are you keeping all these like shallow relationships alive? Because it's just so important to have them around. It's like, why? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And so to me, it's like, I don't put effort into maintaining relationships. If the relationship will not organically maintain itself, then it's not a relationship you need to have in your life, because I just don't view relationships as a priority. Like, why? Like, I view my goals as a priority. And maybe this is just a personality thing. I am definitely very type A driven person. Like, I am obsessed with achieving things in my life. But for me, I just don't like my life is about achievement. My life is about hard work. My life is about being what I can be in life and driving towards that and going after goals. And like, if you're on a similar trajectory, then I love you. Great. We're going to hang out. We're going to see each other all the time. If we're not, no big deal. It's not like I dislike you. It's just like, I'm not going to waste my time maintaining a relationship. If it needs to be maintained, it will maintain itself organically. And the 7th thing that I quit doing was having leisure hobbies. So what do I mean by this? Leisure hobbies are these things where people like to have shit to do that they don't take all that serious. And I think this is also a personality thing. I genuinely can't do things without taking them seriously. Like, as an example of this, when I was in Arizona recently, I went and shot guns with a couple friends of mine who live out there. And I don't shoot guns very often, and so I was bad at it, right? I'm like missing a bunch. Like, I was the least accurate of the 3 of us. And I remember thinking when I left, I'm like, fuck, I need to get a gun and I need to go figure out how to get better at shooting guns. Like, it was unacceptable to me to be bad at it. And so I was like, I have to like get good at this if I'm going to do it. This is why I don't play golf. I'm not willing to be good at golf because I don't want to put the time in it, and I hate being bad at things. So I'm not going to go play golf and suck at golf. I don't want to play pickleball because I don't want to go fuck around and just hit a pickleball paddle and be bad at it. I would have to go figure out how to be good at pickleball. I'd have to figure out how to be good at ping pong. This is why for boxing, I have to have the fight that I'm aiming to do, because I can't just show up and just hit the pads. I'll just lose complete interest. I have to have something I'm going after that drives me to get better at the thing. And so like I just figured out for me, I'm like, these leisure hobbies, part of this is a personality thing where just it is my personality that I can't just do things unless I'm going to be good at them. I had to quit playing chess because I was just getting so fucking irritated at the people I was playing against, because they would beat me and I would be like, I have to get better at chess. And I'm like, this is a complete waste of my time. Being a fucking grandmaster of chess is not on the fucking agenda here for me. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And so I had to stop doing this shit. And the truth about this is, like, if you want to achieve anything big, like get an outsized return on anything in your life, leisure hobbies are just this complete waste of time. It's like, if this is not tied into you being who you want to be and achieving your goals, why are you doing it? And if you want to be some fucking Renaissance man and you're happy with where you're at in life, then by all means. Like I could see a point in my life where I'm super financially successful, I've achieved my goals, and now I'm like going out shooting guns with my friends, and I just have that as a hobby and I get better at it and I can enjoy it. But for me, it's like, I just can't do this shit unless I'm going to be good at it. And the hard thing is, right now I've got big goals, and so I just don't have time to be good at a bunch of shit. And so because of that, I just have to cut it out. And I'm like, I don't really want to go shoot guns. Maybe I'll shoot guns like once every couple months with somebody if they invite me, and I'll just get over the fact that I suck at it for an hour and then just move on with my life. But like, this shit just irks me to be bad at things. And so I can't do shit unless I'm getting better at it. And I can only be good at so many things. And I've already got my fitness I'm devoted to. I've got my business I'm devoted to. I just don't have time for this. You know what I mean? This is something that makes it difficult even with YouTube content for me. Is like, I know that on a certain level, like, I'm not in a position, I talked about this in the recent video, I'm not willing to do what it takes to become extraordinary at YouTube. Like, I'm willing to do what I do right now, but what I'm doing right now is only going to get me so far. And so it almost becomes very difficult for me. I have to like manufacture good reasons to make YouTube videos, because I just don't, if I'm just making the video, I just can't give a fuck. Like, I just don't care. So I have to have a big goal, and the big goal is not going to be getting a huge subscriber count, because that doesn't tie into what I really need to achieve with my life. So the big goal for me right now is like, I'm going to keep putting out this content because it'll help me with supplement sales. And that's genuinely like my mindset. Like, I have to like manufacture a good reason to do this, or I would literally just stop doing it, because I just can't, like, I don't get, for me personally, I just don't get any intrinsic enjoyment out of doing things. It's all about how am I getting better at it? I have to have a goal. I'm extremely goal oriented. Like, I have to have some shit I'm doing with this, or I just can't be bothered to do it. I literally don't do anything for the fun of doing it. The fun to me is the accomplishment. This is something Ed Milet said. He said, winning is more fun than fun is fun. And I totally agree with that. Like, I completely resonate with that. Getting better at something to me is more fun than just having fun. I don't actually like having fun. I feel guilty when I'm having fun, because I'm like, and this is true. Like, people will be like, you shouldn't feel guilty about it, but it's true. When I'm having fun doing some shit that doesn't tie into me achieving what I want to do with my life, it is keeping me from achieving that thing. That's just the truth. That's a harsh fucking pill you got to swallow, but it's just true. If you're doing something that's not helping you achieve your goals, then you are by definition slowing down your ability to achieve your goals. And that's something that irks me and drives me insane. And so I had to cut out leisure hobbies, cut out anything that I'm not willing to be excellent at. That was really my mindset on this. And someday, when I've got more time and when I'm extremely financially successful, I can go have these fucking hobbies. I can go hire a golf coach and go hire a fucking shooting coach. I can go do whatever and, like, you know, whatever the fuck I want and be good at whatever I want. But I had to realize, like, it makes no sense to do something I'm bad at, and I hate doing that, and I can only be good at so many things at one time. And so I have to cut everything out, basically, except for learning how to build an online business and making the content on here so that I can serve the online business and my fitness. And like, everything else just has to be on the back burner. I just can't, I don't have the bandwidth to give a fuck about all of this shit. And you're kidding yourself if you think that you can manage 10 interests at one time and 5 different social groups, like, and keeping all this shit afloat. Like, it is a huge tax on your ability to achieve your goals in life. So those are the 7 things 99% of men are doing that I quit doing. Hope that helps you guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.